So I've been thinking long and hard a lot today about just in the past couple of weeks, but today specifically a lot about sponsorships, what I want to do, how I want to go about it. And I was listening to some podcast, and I was like, they were talking about like not selling out and just like how you don't want to like degrade the way that your audience views you and all this stuff. And it really got me thinking. I was like, I don't want to just start selling out and like all this stuff. And I was having a conversation with Fred, the app guy, who you guys know, and he was like, what I would recommend is you only do brands that you would, first of all, look at all the brands you even touch in a day, and those are your starting points because that's true to you. Second of all, only do brands that you would promote even if you weren't getting paid. And that was like a light bulb went off because I'm like, oh, you're right. Like these companies that I've worked with before, like DistroKid or Lander, like I love those companies and I've been using them forever anyway. So now to get paid to use them, like, oh no, it's not even. So now to get paid to like promote their product, it's like comes natural. Cause like if a friend were to ask me, hey, how would you recommend I release music? Well, I would just tell them DistroKid, like, cause that's who I believe. You know. Now it's just cool to actually get paid for it. So like now that that's clicked, like for example, Bullet Bourbon, easy for me to recommend because I like it. You know what I mean? Figure out brands that I align with like that, and then go from there. That was really cool. These comments are super interesting, man. Like, first of all, so far, 81% people say that they're not bothered by sponsored videos. Really interesting. And some of these comments, like, get that coin, which is funny. A lot of people are like, get the bag, get the coin. But this one's saying, essentially, like, it only bothers them if that people aren't upfront about it being sponsors. This one's sponsors have never bothered me. Nope, since I can basically skip that part and you get paid. Very interesting. This is a great comment. Shout out to Chris. Sponsors don't bother me at all. Mid-roll ads, however, can get annoying, especially if they're peppered across the entire video. I'd much rather see the creator personally endorse a product or service. That's very interesting. So I was curious I said mid-roll ads, super interesting. Thanks for the feedback. Do mid-roll ads ever stop you from watching a video, or can they just get annoying? Because that's something I want to be considerate of. Just really interesting. Nah, get the bag. No, they don't bother me. It's how they make the money. I'm not giving you thousands of dollars, so you do you. That's funny. I like that. Actually made me laugh, man. That's funny. That was funny. Shout out to that person. I gotta call the bank for an interesting question. Let's see.
All 1099.
I cannot stand how these companies just waste your time with these, like, by the way, like, here's some information before you talk to some, like, I'm not calling about a 1099, so why you gotta tell me about the 1099? I just want to speak to somebody, but
access to your balances or to complete transactions using your savings.
I just want to ask something.
For business banking, press. Before you continue, we would like to offer you the opportunity.
I can't do it. I can't wait on hold. I can't do it. I can't wait on hold to talk. I want to do this marketing thing. Probably about a month. I guess I was gonna do the month of February, but maybe I'll do maybe I'll do something different. Like maybe I'll do like February 15th to March 15th or something. Maybe up to my birthday or something. I want to get my Instagram numbers up because I want to get that blue check mark because I think that it will lead to even more validity when trying to get interviews and in conversations with people. Not for my own, like, hey, I got a check mark, but like, just like if I reach out to somebody and say, hey, can I have you on the channel for an interview? They'll see me in the DMs, see the blue check mark, and it'll look a lot more valid than just a random person reaching out to them. So I'm like, maybe I'll do some promo or something like that where it's like, I'll say, I'm trying to get to, say, 10,000 followers on, and because it also blows my mind that there's 119,000 subscribers and I have like less than 3,000 followers. Like that's like, shouldn't be the case. So part of me wants to be like, okay, I'm giving away $1,000 to one of my Instagram followers. All you have to do is follow me by this date. And if we hit 10,000, maybe I'll do like that. Like if we hit 10,000 by March 15th, then you could win $1,000. So something like that. Or maybe I do 10 people will win $100. But I want to go to the bank and get $1,000 in singles. But last time I went, they caused an issue first. Like they didn't have that. So I don't even think I got 500, I think. So I want to do that. But like I want to call and be like, hey, like, can I pre-order 1,000 singles? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about, and I think that'd be really interesting because I keep getting you know what I should do? All right, I've been thinking. maybe I will apply one more time, and then if I get denied again, then I will do that whole thing of like growing the account kind of thing. Let's try that. Actually, that's an interesting idea. But it's like I keep getting denied, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, this makes no sense. Like, who knows? Whatever. I'm gonna start editing the Jacob Restituto Valentine's Day special. I'm curious to see how these came out. Wow. Okay, so this is gonna be a decent amount of work because I gotta get the instrumentals, replace the instrumentals with the versions that I had, and it's out of Logic, and it's gonna be a good amount of work. But you know what? I might actually also do an acapella version, which would be interesting too. So we'll see what ends up coming out of this. We'll see. Look what we have here. We got Mr. Non-Financial Advisor giving some Can you give recommendations? You can give, but not financial advice yet.
No, I can.
Oh, okay. You passed all your tests? Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
This is my friend Eric, who gives me a lot of... Oh, what do you got there, bro? You got the killer sandwich over there.
Yeah.
That's legit.
This is cheat day for sure.
He is helping me and my friend Kevin, who'll be here later, work on some crypto stuff, getting it onto a hard wallet, cold wallet.
Yeah.
Instead of the hot wallets that are out there. So
gotta keep them offline.
Exactly. All right, now I'm in the process of setting up for the interview. I have 4 minutes. My friends just left, setting up this stuff. This is probably one of my heart is like racing. Like, I'm nervous, man. I've heard about this guy so many times for the past couple of years. So like to now be meeting him I'm nervous. I'm excited, but this is crazy. I'm grateful for the opportunity tremendously. Here we go. Mike Boyd Jr. has entered the chat. So I just wrapped up the interview. I think, especially towards the end of the interview, I think it was really, really good. I mean, the beginning was good too. I think that we were just kind of getting, to know each other's role and everything. I'm happy with how it went. It's cool that, we know each other now. And he's like, at the end of the conversation, he was like, hey, hit me up anytime kind of thing. Like, just cool, man. It's cool. So, we'll see. It's just cool to meet people, man. And I'm just meeting all these people and just, keeping building relationships essentially. And it really actually inspired me. Some just really interesting takeaways from that conversation. One, he was talking about how, he wants to, when he's looking for an artist on the come up, he wants to hear from the artist. And he's like, so many artists like want to, like a co-sign from a already famous artist. And he's like, but that just takes the highlight away from you, and people don't really care, which is just interesting. It blew my mind. Some really interesting aspects. So it just honestly, it inspired me. I'm like, I gotta really just focus on my music and really make music. And yes, of course, the other stuff pays the bills. I'm not gonna stop the other stuff because it's paying the bills, but I really gotta focus on making the music, man. It's such a weird dynamic because I need to make money to fund the music, but then I need to make music to fund the dream. So it's like this weird. I mean, you know what though? It's been like this for the past 10 years or 8 years since I dropped out of college. It's like, but now at least I'm making videos related to music as opposed to like, working at an art gallery or, working in my parents' office. Like, it's all more cohesively created. And it's honestly, actually, working at the art gallery didn't necessarily grow my career as much as a reaction video does, because I'd say 98% of the people that are listening to my music now came from a reaction video. So, interesting concept, right? So technically it almost is to some degree building the music career. Ooh, guys, song is actually coming along pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's pull it back up. Shoot, this Valentine's Day thing, these live performances are way more of a beast than I anticipated. Just so much more work. One, I had to go record them. Then I had to make sure like everything sounded like that you were actually able to pick up the voice and like they didn't overload the mic and all this stuff. I recorded it with the words because I wanted to make sure, like, in case I forgot the lyrics or something like that, I'd have the lyrics. So then, even more so, like, then now I have to, like, find the instrumental, replace the instrumental. Some of them I don't even have instrumentals, so make the instrumental, then mix the vocals, and mix it into this instrumental, then export that, master that, then put it into the video, synchronize those, and then edit the video. Oh my gosh, it's way more work. You know what though? It's good for my performance. It's good practice for my performance because listening, like, the pitch isn't horrible. Like, of course it's a little pitchy, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. There are some notes that are like bad, but it's like whatever. Like, I didn't practice at all for this. I just went out and filmed it, and I just didn't even practice the songs, barely knew the words to some of the songs. And I just was like, I wanted to do one a month, and I realized, oh my gosh, the month is over. I have to do one. So I just kind of pushed myself. So there's that. Second of all, like, what I've noticed more than the pitch that I need to work on, is the timing of the songs. I've noticed that I'm like really early. I anticipate, I rush the beat, which I found really interesting. I was like, oh wow, I'm like way early, and I want to leave it raw. I don't want to edit them. I don't want, like, I could go into the studio, I could pitch the vocals, and I could pull like the vocals back so they're in beat, but I'm like, that's not real, and that's what bothers me about the music industry. How like they lie to you. It's not real. That wouldn't be the real performance, and that would bother me. So I'm not gonna do that, even though I'm not super impressed with them. But it's just documenting the process. You know what? The next one will be better, and I'd rather put something out than nothing out, because you never know, man. I'd rather put something out than nothing. Need a bigger studio. When I was lost in the dark, you tried to tear us apart. Hold it deep in my heart, going back to the start. New light in my soul, no crack in my bones, no longer welcome inside my. Subjected me to so much pain, there's nothing left for me to say.